What a wonderful day to learn something new and open up your imagination. 'Cause it's story time with your friends. Story time with Miss Diann. So sit back and relax, 'cause Story Garden is about to begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Story Garden with your host, Diann. I'm so excited today because we have a visiting author all the way from North Carolina, and I'm so excited to have her with us. Her name is Jill Patrick, and she wrote this wonderful story, Chevy the Perfect Pet. I love to read stories about doggies, and this one was extremely entertaining, and I know you're going to love it too and want it in your own home library. So, with no further ado, let's get going with Jill Patrick. Hello, Jill.
Hi, Miss Diann. How are you?
I have your book in front of us. Ooh, there it is. It's
Yay!
so lovely to have you today.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. So, I have a few questions before we get started with your lovely story. What possessed you to start writing?
Well, again, thank you for having me. And I think around 2013, a friend in my town, she had a publishing company, and she was interviewing me for part-time work with her. And I said, we were talking, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to write a book just out of the air." And so, she had shared that people tend to write about what they know.
Right.
And we had a dog named Lucky, and we had Lucky for 12 years. And Lucky became old, and he went to doggy heaven. And so we had recently got a new dog named Chevy, a baby German Shepherd. So I when I told her I'm going to write a book, um, at that time, my friend Debbie, her daughter Bethany, was about 9 years old at the time, and Bethany spent a lot of time with Chevy. So I began to write about Chevy and Bethany, and it just kind of took on from there. So it was just an idea that I just started making up a story to go along with what was going on.
Well, we are so fortunate, and we meaning, you know what I love about this, and you even say it in your book, there it is on camera, is how it's really for everyone, not just for little kiddos. We all can
Mhm.
relate to this, and I think we all can, who've had pets, know what it's like to lose a pet. Not that you talk
Mhm.
about that here, but just the love of pets, wonderful. So anyway, what else? You're not just an author. You're also an educator, right?
I am. I am an elementary school art teacher. I have taught, I'm not sure, maybe over 2,000 children, kindergarten through fifth grade, since the fall of 2014. I am not an illustrator, and some children know and some don't that the illustrator is the person that actually makes the pictures. I have an illustrator who did an amazing job, Helen H. Wu, and so she took the story, and created pictures. But I am an art teacher, and that is something that I am very proud of,
Oh,
in addition to being a children's book author.
lovely. I hope maybe someday you'll do some art classes online, and maybe I can sign up for them. I would love that.
Okay. Okay.
Well, with no further ado, would you mind sharing some of your favorite parts of the story?
Sure.
Okay, I'm
Um,
hide and let you start
okay.
talking. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Again, the name of the book, or the title, is Chevy the Perfect Pet. One thing about this book that many people resonate with, meaning that they tend to feel about the book, is unconditional love. And unconditional love for our animals is very important. So I am going to read you just a few pages out of the story. and then we will get back with Miss Diann. Mom, Dad, and 7-year-old twins, Timmy and Tiffy Jones, live on a perfect street in a perfect house. I'm so excited, Timmy said. So am I, Tiffy echoed. Thank you, Daddy. Mr. Jones had brought Chevy home a year ago. He had gotten him from Mr. Dixon, his friend from work. Over a short period of time of having Chevy in their lives, the entire Jones family agreed that Chevy was the perfect pet. So that's the picture of Dad bringing Chevy home to meet Mom, Timmy, and Tiffy. So I am going to skip over just a few pages. Now, Chevy is a very mischievous dog. Although he is obedient, like really many German Shepherds are, they follow the commands given to them. But like my own Chevy, the real Chevy the Perfect Pet, I don't know what to say. Okay, so let me read this part about Chevy's family. Once before, on a chilly afternoon, Chevy sat attentively as his family prepared to leave home. I love ice skating, Tiffy announced with excitement. Can we get hot chocolate afterwards, Mommy? Timmy asked. We sure can, Mom said and smiled. Can Chevy come too? The twins asked in unison, meaning they asked at the same time. The ice is too dangerous for him, honey, and we cannot leave him in the car alone, Mom explained. But why can't Chevy go with us? Tiffy cried. It is much too cold for Chevy to be out today, said Dad. He will have to stay home alone. All right, so we're going to skip just a few pages, and I am going to read what happened when Chevy heard the family returning home. So Chevy had taken a nap. Let me add that part. After he woke up, he could not believe the big mess he had made. In the distance, he could hear his family's car traveling down the winding road. Without a minute to spare, Chevy was scarcely able to put everything back in its proper place. Chevy's heart was beating fast. He ran so fast that he almost slid across Mom's slippery, shiny floor. Chevy landed safely on his doggy bed just as Dad turned the key, unlocking the front door. This was a close call indeed. So I am going to read one more page. There is so much excitement in this book, but we want to share more conversation with you all. Thank you for joining us. And so I'm going to skip to the end when Dad announced to the neighbor, who you will learn more about whenever you either read the book, or you can always go to my YouTube channel and hear it that way. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the final page. So let me go back 2 pages. So Chevy's family had gone out of town, and Chevy had done some mischievous things at the neighbor's house, and she left Mom and Dad a note. So I'm going to share that part with you and read the final 2 pages. We can't believe how naughty Chevy was while we were away, Dad apologized sadly. He is not the perfect pet we thought he was, Mom agreed. Without hesitation, Mrs. Cooper announces, I will be more than willing to take him off your hands. And then added, I know that with us, his behavior will be much better. Just as Dad was about to hand Chevy over to Mrs. Cooper, Timmy and Tiffy could be heard crying. No, Daddy, please don't give Chevy away. Their pleas for Chevy caused Mr. Jones to change his mind. I'm sorry, Mrs. Cooper, said Dad. I just can't give you our dog. No matter what Chevy does, we will always love him unconditionally, and he will always be our perfect pet. The end. Thank you, Ms.
You are so welcome. It was wonderful. You were right when you said there's so much excitement in this book. Here we go. So kiddos, if you're to check this book out, not if, when, wait till you see all the mischief he does. This is one of my favorite pictures. I just love this picture. So your illustrator is amazing.
She did an amazing job. And even to look back now that the book has been published for almost 3 years, um, the pictures capture so much emotion from Chevy, the the family, and I just am in awe of the illustrations. I think they're amazing.
And I don't think people really understand how difficult it is to be an illustrator. You're an artist, so you really can appreciate it at a higher level. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, just learning, um, and of course, as you know, I illustrated my book, but it was like a trial by error, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, I'm in awe of illustrators. But when they take your words and they bring it to life,
Mm-hmm.
it's just in awe. Did you have that same feeling I had the first time I held my book and I saw my name on there? It was like, oh my gosh, my name is on a book. Did you have that feeling?
I don't even know what the feeling is. I think it's almost unbelievable
Yes.
because for me, I knew that so many other people had, there are millions of books out here. And I never thought I would be an author. I think probably before I actually started writing the book, and as I began to, it became a manuscript, and then people helped me along the way, and then a publisher and an illustrator, and I almost still can't believe it.
I know, me
You know what
too.
I mean? It is such an accomplishment and something to be proud of. So
Absolutely.
congratulations to you as well for your books.
Thank you. And I think, of course, there's some fabulous teachers in the world, and I'm so grateful to so many of my teachers when I was a kiddo, right?
Mhm,
But I never was inspired that I could write. I mean, we took English classes, we wrote, and so
mhm,
forth.
mhm, mhm,
But it just never crossed my mind. I always knew I was a storyteller, and they would always tell me, "Oh my gosh, Diann, you're a storyteller."
mhm,
I also was very, like, I'm speaking mostly of high school, and very involved in choir and so forth. Well, I think it would be kind of nice if a little bit more of the storytelling they would have shared it could turn into, a book. But
mhm,
we kind of kept it separate. And so I tell my kiddos when I was teaching, as well as my nieces and nephews, that
mhm,
every time you tell a story,
mhm.
you're writing a book, and they're like, what?
That's true. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot because I have. I would love to write another book about Chevy, and that's a great point you just made because I have not been able to just write another book. You know what I mean? But you're right. Just imagine talking about a story, and as you're talking, you're writing. You're right. It doesn't have to be. As an art educator, um, I always stress to the students I teach, your work does not have to be perfect to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just piggybacking off of what you just said, um, and I want to be careful how I say it, but of course, there have been many people that have encouraged me. But now that I think back to when I was in school, I remember having amazing teachers. But I really, in fact, I have a teacher that I'm in contact with that that was my high school teacher over 30 years ago. But I don't really remember anybody really telling me all that I could be.
Right.
And I don't mean like my mom. I just
Right.
mean like, you know, you just made a good point. Encouragement, affirmations, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're smart. That can come from anybody that believes in you.
Right. That's so
You know,
true. Hmm.
that can come from any, and also those are things that we can tell ourselves. You know, Miss Jill, you can write more books. You are a great writer. You're a great author. So to the kids that may hear our video conversation, I think so many people right now during this period of COVID-19 or the coronavirus, as some people call it, I have done so much. And I think now is a great time for kids to really dig deep to see what they're good at. And I always share that with the kids that I teach. Now is the time for you to pay attention to what comes natural for you, because
That.
sports comes natural for some people, writing comes natural, painting, braiding hair, painting, your background is beautiful, graphic design. So now is a great time to really channel our energy, maybe even into becoming a kid author. They're children authors. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and I love how you said your natural ability,
Hmm.
and even if it's natural to you.
Hmm.
So, for example, and I don't want to get too carried away in this because I know we need to go, but I will have in a children's book at some point. First through fourth grade, I was at one school,
Hmm.
and those teachers are like, "You can do anything. You can be whatever you want to be." Oh, you sing so pretty. And then
Hmm.
I went to fifth grade at a new school, and they're like, "You can't join the choir. You can't sing." And it was the first time in my life that someone ever said, "You cannot."
Mm.
And that was so shocking. I mean, it's like, oh, so I know I'll have that somewhere in a book, a children's book one day, so they can
Hmm.
be whatever they want to be.
Yeah, I can.
So, and the only reason to say that story again, if kids are listening, is that I was told I couldn't, and that was
Mm.
just showed I will, because I didn't want people telling me I can't.
Hmm.
And then of course I had my grandma, and my mom, and daddy, and everybody going, "Don't listen to that. If you want to sing, you sing." And of
Hmm.
course, that's what I did. And I did have to practice harder. And, I can appreciate now as an adult what the teacher was really trying to say to me,
Hmm.
just the way it came to be. So,
Right.
whatever comes natural to you, that might be your strongest gift. You might have to work at it,
You do. Uh-huh.
but go
Right.
for it, right?
Well, I recently heard, may have been in the documentary about Michael Jordan, and I know a lot of kids know who Michael Jordan is. You know, I think they say one of the greatest NBA basketball players.
Incredible. And a beautiful
But
human being.
right, well, I think in high school he was told he didn't make the team, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. And I think the coach told him something like, maybe, and I'm paraphrasing, meaning I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something like, you're not serious enough, or you're not ready, or you're not good enough. And I think he told him, if you show up early in the mornings, if you do this, if you do that, to show, I guess, his house, that, his commitment to
serious,
playing
right?
basketball. But I'm just saying that to piggyback off what you just said. Um, there's so many things I've been doing for 20, 30 years that I'm still trying to get better at.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so even if something comes natural to you, meaning that it may be easy for you to do it, you still need to work on it.
Yeah.
You still need to work on it. You
Absolutely.
know, even if you're really strong and you get all A's in a particular subject, there's still work, because more than likely nobody knows it all. You know what I mean? So, but I think being an author, or anything in life, it's important to not always tell people what they want to hear. Like you were saying that the teacher said someone can't sing. And what they probably what that could be very hard for some people. And what the teacher may have been able to say is you can become a better singer with practice.
Right.
So we never want to hurt anybody with telling them that they're not smart enough, they're not good enough. But Miss Diann, you know it. You want to get better at your story garden. You
Mm.
want to encourage more children. So it's not like you have a story garden. Now you just, sit back and relax. You're still growing. It's a beautiful program.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. I love your story garden. I check out your videos.
Thank you so much. Well, you're so kind. Well, I definitely want you back, and you have been such an inspiration. I usually don't get so off into inspiring kids, but I'm so glad we did because I think it was really good food for thought.
Mhm.
Tell the kiddos how they can find you, and the moms and dads how they can purchase this incredible book.
Thank you. Well, I do have a website, www.jillpatrick.com. They can go to the website. I also have a YouTube channel where I do read the entire book in its entirety. I am active on social media, but people can easily contact me through my website. That would probably be the best way to get the information to reach me. And I would love to hear from the families, the boys and girls, the parents, not only about the book, but maybe I can, I don't know,
Inspire the kids some way.
maybe I can inspire the kids.
Absolutely. There's no maybe. I know you will.
Thank
So,
you.
just briefly, I just want to share with you, in case that's for everyone, those inspirational little thoughts that you're sending out. They're incredible. Can you share a tiny bit about that before we go?
Sure. So probably late April of this year, early May, my oldest sister Katrina and I, we were just working on this project. We didn't really know what the project would look like because we had never done it before. And we agreed on She Is Me. And She Is Me really took on a life of its own. She Is Me is really a tool used to encourage, motivate, uplift, inspire others through. Miss Diann, you were kind enough to share a quote. I use quotes from famous people, from relatives and friends, but She Is Me each day, the entire month of May. I would take a picture. Most of the pictures were pictures of me that had been taken over the years, or maybe within the last couple years. And then alongside the picture, I would add a quote to to encourage others, and people really liked it. Now that is mainly on my website. There is a tab for She Is Me, and also on my Facebook She Is Me page. Thank you for mentioning that because um, I think for so many people, we think that I shouldn't say it that way, but we're all able to inspire. That doesn't have anything to do with age.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my book first came out, right after it came out, one of the fifth graders said, "Miss Patrick, don't you have to go to New York for your book?" I'm like, "What?" Like at that time, the book had only been out maybe a month or two. Do you know since September, because the book was published August, late August of 2017. And the last 2.5 years, I've been to New York twice with my book.
Wow.
So
Congrats.
kids have dreams. They've got big dreams, and we want them to tap into their natural abilities and see what they come up with and share it with us.
Absolutely. And She Is Me. I hope you'll do at least one new in a month, so keep it alive. I absolutely love
Oh,
it,
thank you.
and I know you'll inspire the kiddos' parents as well, if not just the kiddos. But I'm going to close, and I hope you will come back and be part of our show again.
Thank you, Miss Diane. Thank you, families, for allowing me into your for taking time to allow me to be a part of your day.
Oh, so welcome. Okay, boys and girls, well, that concludes the Story Garden. Make sure you check out jillpatrick.com and subscribe. And now you also know about her YouTube channel, which you can probably connect straight from her website and click on it, as well as She Is Me for your inspirational thoughts. Jill, again, thank you. And what an incredible day it has been. Remember, boys and girls, have a great day. And don't forget, embrace imagination. Take care. Bye.